So if you guys remember, I did try a HovBeta folding bike from Hovsco. And this has been a very fun bike and a very useful accessory for my RV when I'm at a park or a campground, because it can fit in my basement and it's stored out of the way. And it really is a lot of fun. But if you remember the video that I showed it to you guys, I noted, and even my son noted, that there's no suspension on the rear. With these smaller wheels and only front suspension, 20 miles an hour is about as comfortable I would feel anyways. Starts popping you around in the rough terrain a little bit, right?
Yeah, I lift my butt up so I'm like...
Now, I'm not saying that Hovsco was upset with my critique and video on their HovBeta folding bike, but they did reach out to me shortly after and ask if maybe I should try a different bike. So this is the HovScout from Hovsco, and this is how they ship it to you, in a box. So there is some assembly required. But let's see how much it weighs. So we'll start you off in kilograms. Because I can tell you, it's not light. You need two people in order to move this thing around comfortably. Nothing there. Nothing there. It says it's 42.5 kilograms. And for me, it's 93 pounds. Definitely a two-man lift. But of course, that's with the box and all the shipping, so it might be a little bit lighter. We'll check that in a second. Now, I know that I am primarily an RV channel, and I'm not a bike channel, an e-bike channel. And I did explain that to Hovsco. When I explained that to them, they came back with an offer I couldn't refuse. And it would be foolish of me not to allow some of my good fortune with the growth of this channel, thanks to everybody watching it. All that fun aside, let me go ahead and try to get this thing out of the box. Oh. Alright, so it was a little bit awkward by one person, but I still managed by myself. The instructions are going to be just zip tied right there. So we'll get that information right there. You guys set up to watch me build it. They're not too difficult to build. But just like the HovBeta, this box right here will contain all the tools you need to make it. But if you don't want to wing it like I will, on page 11, it'll start the assembly instructions. Look at that. Step 1, unpack the bike. Then remove all the packaging. They definitely gave quite a bit of protection on this when they shipped it in the box. So that was a lot of zip ties to cut through. The next step is to put the kickstand on. All right, the instructions didn't really say where to put the kickstand, but right here seemed good enough to me. Next step is to put the handlebars on. I can't say the instructions are very helpful on this either, but I think it's going to be easiest if we take the light and the display off first. And then with that out of the way, we should be able to put that where we want it to be and line it up. Now with the kickstand and the handles on, all we have to do is flip this thing upside down and install the front tire. Got the washer on that side with the nut. Let's tighten it up now. It's almost too simple. Thing I have to do is grab the pedals and get those installed. I will say these went on very easily, the left for the left side, right for the right side, but man, these are aggressive, serious duty studs that are on these pedals. Don't let those fling around and hit you in their shin. It looks like they're Torx screws or studs, so you could probably remove them, but those are aggressive for heavy duty apparently. Last thing we have to do is flip this thing upside down. Wait, last thing we have to do is flip it right side up. And just like that, the bike is built. Now, don't take this off yet. You do want to scan that QR code with your phone, download the app, and then register the bike, because this is a Class 3 e-bike. That is to say, it is shipped as a Class 2 e-bike. You can unlock the Class 3 features on it if you download the app and unlock those features. That means it goes up to, I think, 28 miles an hour. I will go ahead and download that. Then we can turn that on. Okay, it's not flashing like that in person. Battery comes fully charged. This does have 5-level pedal assist to it, which is a really nice feature to have. I didn't know I even liked that much until I started using it on the HovBeta. What it means is as you actually pedal down below, the motor will automatically kick in. Now the layout looks identical to the HovBeta over there and does have the headlight. Just have to push and hold the light button on there. That was a really good headlight too. But what I didn't realize until I was putting the handlebars on, that this does have disc brakes like we already saw, but they are hydraulic disc brakes. So you have a master cylinder on both hand grips right there. So that works out really nice. So when you're going really fast with this bike, you don't have to worry about cable stretching. It makes sense on the folding bike to have cables, but it's a really nice bike. Now, before we get to the star of the show and the whole reason why Hovsco sent this to me, I do want to point this out. At $2,400, these e-bikes are pretty expensive. So you do come with basically a VIN number etched into the frame itself, even with a QR code. So you can register that and give you a little bit more peace of mind. Now, just like the HovBeta over there, the front forks does have a gas charge suspension on it that you can lock into place or unlock. And you can also adjust how they ride over here. The HovScout's claim to fame is that it does have a true swing arm rear suspension, and that's why I got it. You can see the rear fork right here is connected to another pivot point with its own gas strut in between. So with that rear suspension and the 26-inch fat tires on this, HovScout should ride so much more comfortably than the HovBeta. Now, before we do a test ride on this, and I tell you guys what I really think about it, because I haven't ridden it yet, you can see no dirt on the tires. It's still on the box it came in. I want to run a few tests on it and do a few comparisons. First, let's go ahead and weigh it and see what it weighs outside the box. All right. So we're at 32 kilograms or 71 pounds. But if we're talking about weight, we might as well check the battery too. So I need the keys. Because you don't need the keys to turn the bike on, you need the keys to unlock the battery. There's a latch right there, and the whole battery comes out. Oh, this still has a flashlight feature on it. Still no USB. No USB on it. I'll show you the battery charge. But yeah, this has got to be half the weight of the bike right here. Oh, there we go, we're here. So 9 pounds, maybe not half the weight, but a lot of the weight there. And I don't know if you guys are like me, but you're curious, is this the same battery as the Hovsco HovBeta? Sure seems to be, so they are interchangeable. That's actually kind of useful information to know. So if you had having the same charger available for both of them. Now this one looks sleeker and a little bit newer than the old one. All right, let me put that battery back in. Batteries are the same. It has a 7-speed Shimano shifter, and this one has a 7-speed Shimano shifter. So this is going to be the HovScout. Still is maxed out at 100. It still maxes out at 450 pounds of capacity, same as the HovBeta. Max speed is 20 miles an hour unless you unlock the HovBeta to 28. Same thing right there. The motor, 1032 watts peak, 1032 watts peak, 750 watts sustained, brushless hub. So that's the same. Battery pack is the same. Headlights are the same. 40 to 60 miles, 40 to 60 miles. So very, very similar specs between the two of those bikes at that point. You are my e-bike expert here.
I wouldn't say expert, but I know
well, you built a lot and you sold them at REI, so you know a lot more than me. Apparently, this is the only full suspension e-bike out there with a torque sensor on it. You're the expert. Is that got to be true? Sounds true. I mean, I'd call that a swing arm, wouldn't you? Kind of like a motorcycle, because it pivots down there. It has a pivot point there and a pivot point there, yeah, and the dampener right in between.
Shimano.
All right, what was that, Cass?
So the tourney is a higher grade Shimano.
All right, so it does have a tourney Shimano derailleur.
Just the standard.
Just the standard one. And since you're here, I'm going to let you do the honors and ride that first. And I'll just follow you on my HovBeta right there. Again,
About 0 with no assist.
you can keep it safe though, right?
Keep it safe.
Okay.
Level 1 assist. 2 right now. Very little longer. Keeping around 8 miles an hour.
Let's see, pull away from me. All right, now you get to try the HovBeta and tell me if there's a big difference between no rear suspension, 20-inch wheels, and rear suspension with 26-inch wheels.
Alright, let's go.
You gotta go over some bumps.
So, yeah, definitely a little rougher ride, but it's not uncomfortable per se.
Can you feel it?
Oh yeah.
Don't you wish you had rear suspension?
Yes, I do.
What do you think, Richie?
Okay.
You want to try it out? So maybe you don't even want it. Maybe it's not even that nice.
No, I'll take it. I might just take off out of here and not come back.
I don't blame you.
Oh yeah.
Much bigger.
Oh yeah.
26 versus 20.
Rear suspension on it. What do you think? Did it ride a little bit smoother?
Oh, yeah, right, smooth.
I mean, it's a great bike, but I don't know. It's hard to go back now.
Big difference.
But this one won't fold into my basement, so I still have to use that one.
Suspension.
Yeah, this one I would like to go for long, long distances. You can get about 40 to 60 miles on an average charge. If you feather it really well on nice flat terrain, that says maybe 90 miles, but I think we can all agree that's probably unlikely. The whole rear fork is like a swing away arm, so it's got a lot of pivot to it. You want to try this one out for me, huh?
What's that?
You gonna try this one out for me?
Yeah.
All right.
So I forgot to get going faster.
All right, so right now I'm in pedal assist 5 mode. So with pedal assist 1, as soon as you start pedaling, it's going to start to engage the motor. Then after that, you still have the throttle. The throttle will work as long as you're out of 0.
Okay.
So you don't really have to start pedaling, but there you go. What do you think?
Oh, I love it. This is nice.
Pretty smooth?
Very smooth. Nice bike. Different manufacturer than the last one.
So this is a Hovsco HovScout. So I'm going to bring the HovBeta to you right now, and then you can compare it to this one.
Can I go back out on the street with this one?
Yeah.
Alright, I want to try this one on the street.
That's a big smile you got there.
This one's nice.
Well, how fast did you get it up to?
28.
28, just like a class 3 would do.
Is that what it was?
But yeah, with I unlocked it to be a class 3 to get up to 28 miles an hour. Yeah, so you should be able to really appreciate the rear suspension on the HovScout after riding the HovBeta. That's the whole reason why they sent me the HovScout. It's because they said it was a bit rough, this HovBeta. Right, but your back gets to be the suspension on the back of this one, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you kind of feel it, especially on the back side. Otherwise, it's a lot of fun still, isn't it?
Absolutely. Good bike. Excellent bike to ride.
All right, well, there you go.
All right, there you
Now you got to compare the two. What would you rather? Wait. Well, what do you think?
So this one maxes out at 20, 21?
I didn't unlock this one to class 3, so
So it can go faster.
you gotta go 28.
Oh, it can.
Yeah, but I don't know if I feel comfortable going that fast, especially in rough terrain.
Yeah, I hear that.
But if you had a choice, the Scout or the Beta?
I definitely like the full suspension, having that option to it. As far as overall looks, definitely the other bike.
Definitely the other bike.
Yeah.
All right, well, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
So there you have it, the HovScout e-bike from Hovsco, the same makers as the HovBeta that I have. So what are my final closing thoughts about the HovScout from Hovsco? Like the HovBeta, it's a crazy amount of fun. It feels a heck of a lot safer and more stable on rough terrain. And the brakes are pretty responsive. Does everything I would want an e-bike to do, and it looks incredible. But of course the HovScout doesn't fold up and fit inside the basement of my RV like the HovBeta does, and would require some sort of a bike rack on the back of my RV or travel trailer in order to bring it with me. And at about $2,400, that's a lot of money just be hanging off the back of my RV. Now, besides the obvious wheel size and the frame, the performance on the HovScout is very similar to the HovBeta. The only real difference in comfort is going to be the rear suspension, but also the handlebars are much wider on the HovScout compared to the HovBeta. These are about 28 inches wide, whereas the HovBeta is just about 24.5 inches wide. It doesn't seem like a lot of difference, a few inches, but this I wouldn't want to ride for 20 miles like that. It would be great for around campsites and campgrounds and resorts. Whereas extended adventures and road trips on this HovScout would be a lot more fun and enjoyable. Otherwise, the controls are the same, the battery's the same, performance of the motor is the same. It even still has 7 gears with a Shimano shifter. Now naturally, I will have some codes I'll put in the description to get a discount on the HovScout if you want to buy one. No pressure whatsoever on marketing from me. Hovsco just said, try a bike with rear suspension and tell us what you think. That one's gonna get sent back. Thanks a lot for joining me on this kind of fun little non-RV related video. Sometimes it's good to take a break. This was also a lot of fun sharing the HovScout with my friends Cass, Richie, and Ken. I want to thank them for helping me make this video. It's fun getting to experience unbiased joy from other people too, and with friends. I do have a lot more things planned for my Beaver Patriot Thunder. In fact, I just upgraded the solar on the roof up here to have about 660 watts of panel back here, with an additional 200 watts in the front at the factory wiring. I would have made a video about that, but I've already done solar install videos. And making videos does take a little bit of time and does slow down the process quite a bit. I think it looks pretty dang handsome, and we finally got something knocked out of the list of things I wanted to do when I first got the RV over 2 years ago. Yeah, when I took it down in the dunes, I did wear a helmet, so I always wear a helmet when you're on the roads too. It's good advice for everybody. You guys still there? If you stick around, I want to tell you something. It's a little bit of a secret. I'm not supposed to tell anybody it either. But the whole reason why I even did this video is because I want to give this bike away to celebrate 70,000 subscribers on the channel. Hovsco wouldn't have sent that bike to me if it wasn't for everybody watching and subscribing to the channel. So I just wanted to find a way to say thank you. So in the next video I put out, I'll have all the information on how to win that bike. It should be a lot of fun. Thanks a lot for sticking away to the very end, because this part's going to get cut out once the sweepstake is over. Bye.